I just want to make sure that this microphone is the proper microphone. There we go. That's better. Okay.
You're going down there.
Share it out, I guess.
You can lay on my bed all you want.
Where is this? Okay, copy that. Pause that. I'm just gonna tweet this out and then we'll start. What do you want to start with? You want to start with Shadowkeep talk and then TWAB, or TWAB and then Shadowkeep?
Let's get TWAB out of the way, and then
Okay,
we can do Shadowkeep. There doesn't really seem like it's a whole lot from TWAB, which I wasn't expecting TWAB to be having a crazy amount of information since Shadowkeep just dropped. You know, that DLC.
Yeah, that DLC that came out that I'm playing. Alright, post this. And then post that. And then, alright. Greetings, Guardians, and welcome to the Voices of the Vanguard, Episode 3. Today I have with me Sully from Sully Games. Say hello, Sully.
Hello, everyone.
And I am your host, Thomas, CSG Thomas on Twitter, also known as Kane out in the world of Destiny. And today we're going to talk about some Shadowkeep. We're going to have spoiler talk at the end, so you can listen until we tell you that we're going to do spoilers. But first, TWAB just dropped, so let's talk about TWAB for a bit. So this week at Bungie, we landed on the moon. Biggest issue was caused by game databases not doing their job correctly, which threw a wrench into the machine. Please don't blame your new friends for just joining the community. This is a complex launch that included platform migrations and new ways for players to begin their journey with us. We aren't afraid of solving tough problems, and we'll continue to hunt down any issues that arise. So yeah, the Shadowkeep had this is I think their worst launch that they've had, because they usually have pretty good launches.
Yeah, the only other launch that I remember ever having issues with was Rise of Iron back on D1. I think going into this DLC, I kind of had feelings that there was going to be some type of server issue just with migrating over from Battle.net to Steam, new light starting up, big DLC. So I did feel like that there was going to be some issues. And the one thing I give them credit to, it was they had really good feedback. You know, they're constantly communicating with the player base. So, and ever since the servers came back up online, 7 o'clock, 7:30 on Tuesday. Like we haven't had any issues.
Yeah, we were able to play until 4, and then it came back up around like 8:30 or so.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, that was down for a while, and yeah, there was a lot of migration and stuff. Like there was a lot involved. So like I kind of expected this to happen. I was surprised that we were actually able to play earlier. But then as soon as everyone got home, it's like servers just tanked.
Well, I was still in, but everybody else
right.
was not until they did the emergency maintenance
until they just
and they
took
shut
it
the
off.
servers.
Yeah. I was actually playing Destiny 1 while you were playing Destiny in our chat. That was fun.
Yeah.
Alright. So moving on from that, Raid is coming up this weekend.
Yep.
Starting
Garden of Salvation.
Yep. Starting at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, October 5th. Have you seen the video?
I have.
And what do you think?
Looks good. I mean, nothing like too crazy. I mean, definitely looks like looks really cool. Like, looks like it has like one of the better environments out of all of the raids that we've seen.
Yeah, it's more lush.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot in that video other than just Guardians shooting Vex.
Yeah, not a whole lot.
You can't really spoil the raid, right? Because it's
I'm kind of surprised they even. I'm kind of surprised they even dropped the video, just because they're typically pretty quiet when it comes to raid stuff. But looks good. I'm excited to get our fire team in there on Saturday and try to complete this thing in like the first week. I want that raid jacket.
Yeah, man, I think it looks sick.
I want that raid jacket.
So speaking of Bungie rewards, first thing we have is the world first completion. You get the belt, always. 24-hour completion, you get the 24-hour emblem. This time though, the raid jacket you can obtain it up to October 15th, and then you'll get a code to get the raid jacket. So that'll give us plenty of time if we can't beat it in the first 24 hours. But
Yeah, I think yeah.
I think
we'll
we will
have
though.
Plenty of time. I think this first week will be a nice test run to kind of figure out mechanics and stuff. The only thing that will suck though is I do believe in the first 24 hours they have competition mode on, so power level actually doesn't matter.
Up to 920 or 900 then 920.
Yeah. So, and I believe so that could affect us a little bit, but I think even by next weekend we will be.
It's going to be tough, but I think we can
I think
do
our
it.
fire team will have enough power. So I'm like 908, and I'm about to after this podcast today. I'm about to go live and just grind.
I'm 910 at the moment. After this podcast, we have a raid, and apparently raid drops powerful gear after 910. So you might want to try and get to 910 before try doing any raids. Before tomorrow, I won't be grinding. Unfortunately, I have plans with some friends, so I'm hoping to just get all my shit done today, and then Saturday morning, and then we go.
Yeah, I think it's doable. So you probably still have your nightfalls, don't you?
Yeah, I still have to do the nightmare hunts, the nightfalls. Okay. Like I have tons of stuff to do for powerful.
Yeah, you should be alright.
Yeah. Player support is working around the clock to support the launch. Let's check what they are currently tracking. Report. New lights this week. We launched Shadowkeep New Light and brought Destiny 2 to Steam on PC. If you're just now joining us on this journey, let's get you acquainted with the player support resources, the forums, Twitter, help.bungie.net, all that good stuff. So the known issues we have are players will not receive the Gatelord's Eye Season 7 rank if they claim it in an equipment locked activity like a Nightfall. So don't do that. Claim it after you're out of there. So
and we're still having the issue on PC too. I wonder if they'll. I guess there's a ton of it.
If it has been,
try to launch, yeah.
If it has been abandoned, the completed Essence of Anguish quest step can be reacquired only by unlocking the Lectern of Enchantment. The In Search of Answers quest step may not appear in a player's inventory even after talking with Eris. Please check Postmaster. Pick up the quest and continue the campaign. If the Firewall quest step is dismantled after completing Eris' weekly bounty, players will have to wait a week before they can obtain a new one. If the Luna's Calling weekly quest is deleted before collecting the rewards and the bounty is reclaimed, players will have to wait. Some players who purchase Shadowkeep Deluxe Edition may not receive all 4 season passes, but may instead receive 1,000 silver per unredeemed season. Players may spend the silver to purchase future seasons through the Seasons tab in the Director menu. That's weird. That's weird.
Interesting.
Because I didn't receive 1,000 silver, so that must have been weird. Loaded up, you get a bunch of in-game currency. It's like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, I guess I haven't even paid. I'm pretty sure I'm still just at my normal 1,000 silver that I've had since like I don't know, maybe like Forsaken or whatever. I don't know. I might have to check that. That's weird.
Players who encounter the error problem reading game content on Steam should ensure that they are not running Destiny 2 with elevated permissions. For example, do not use run as administrator. I know some people were having problems running the game, like just getting it to load on the first day, so they did that. See if that helped. So they should also make sure there is no Steam _app ID.txt file in their Destiny 2 install directory.
It's another weird bug.
Yeah, another weird bug. I think this is like people were trying to do workarounds to try and like not reinstall the game and all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah.
Players with 300 or more friends on Steam may encounter crashes when launching Destiny 2. Players who encounter this issue can trim their friends list until they're below 300 while they investigate the fix. More ongoing reports.
Glad tweeting about that.
Yeah, that's what I saw Glad, and I was like, I should check my friends list. And it's like 30 people. I was like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
We're investigating ongoing reports from players regarding issues with PC migration. In the meantime, possible players should attempt to retry migration. So some people just loaded up their game and did not get their characters.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of, man. Mike and I, when we got like the message from like
the cross save thing.
Yeah, we're just like, okay, like we're gonna double check to make sure we have like everything set up, just because like we didn't want to just go in and then all of a sudden have to like restart everything.
Mm-hmm. So. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's everything. Movie of the week. I haven't seen those, so I can't really talk about them. So let's move on into actual Shadowkeep. You want to start? While I eat some dinner?
As you eat dinner on our podcast, come on now. You should be ashamed of yourself.
You should know me by now.
Overall, man, I thought Shadowkeep was really good. I mean, they had their like little issues, obviously with like the servers, which sucks. But I thought they did a good job like handling that. They communicated well with the player base. I think the campaign was actually really good. The ending was kind of like, oh, what the fuck's going on type thing, but like,
yeah,
was kind of like, it was like really cool. You're like, oh, like, what's
a lot of questions that need to be answered.
And so I don't know if you saw my tweet recently. I saw somebody said on Twitter that they said that Bungie was saying that an old friend is going to be returning. So
do they mean friend or foe?
Huh?
Friend or foe?
They said friend.
Okay.
The person I saw that said friend. So I don't know what Bungie. They might have said foe. But I have a feeling we could be seeing the Exo Stranger. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did see you tweet about that.
I feel like that would be somebody that would be great to bring back, because there's just a lot of unanswered questions with that person in Destiny 1. At the same time that she is a hunter. I don't know if she's not technically a guardian, I guess at that time. She might be now. But the hunters do need a Vanguard, so like that would be kind of somebody to come in.
That would be really cool.
Kate.
Yeah.
So hopefully that would be kind of a cool person to bring back. I think we'll see a few more story missions kind of appear after Saturday, or after the raid's complete anyways.
Yeah, they're gonna have the dungeons, like all the stuff that they're gonna have come out.
Yeah.
Like the Vex offensive launches the same day as the raid, right? So you still have to do.
No, I think wasn't it a little bit after?
It might be, but I know it was like around the same time.
Yeah. So we still have like a few more like probably like story missions. I think we'll see shortly after the raid that will maybe kind of introduce some people.
Yeah, like Forsaken did with Marasov.
Yes. Yep.
And then all those repeatable missions.
Let me look. We got the raid Yep, the Vex begins the same day.
Yeah, there's icons for the Vex offensive on the moon map. I was thinking about checking that out and seeing if I can go there and just look at what's gonna happen, but I don't know. I need to level up.
Same. I'm trying to think what else. Campaign really good. As I said, and I was really shocked to see the pyramid ships, this early. I figured that would have been something that we would have seen, more towards, if they're gonna do, Destiny 3 or whatever,
Sully, I didn't say spoilers yet.
I thought you said spoiler.
I didn't say. I said we'll give a spoiler alert, and then
Oh,
it's okay. Don't
well,
worry about it. Just keep talking about the pyramid ships. Oh, okay. So he's busy right now. Yeah, I think story was really cool. It's fairly short, but I think that's to be expected since they're doing more of an evolving story. We'll definitely get more story stuff along the way as they roll out more content because they're going for a living, breathing world.
I'm back.
Hey, welcome back. So I don't know. I'll give another spoil. I'll give like a definite spoiler warning before we get into more spoilers. But yeah, this pyramid shifts were insane. Like you were just like round the corner, and I was freaking out. Like my jaw was on the floor. I was going, "Holy shit, dude!"
Yeah, I was really surprised that was in the campaign. To be honest, that
The darkness is closer than we thought.
yeah, I definitely did not expect to see it this time
Considering at
around.
the end of Destiny 2, and you see the ships like outside of the Milky Way, it's not even in our
Yeah,
galaxy. So, but there's
yep,
one on the moon. Like maybe there's another one somewhere else. Like they've talked about
yep.
all these different nightmares on all these different other moons, like Io, and I think Titan. So
Hmm.
you never know, man.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool that we got to see that because I did kind of expect that to be in like the next big Destiny drop. Because I
Yeah,
mean, Shadowkeep's about the size of like Rise of Iron, which is definitely it's about probably half of what we received with Forsaken in terms of like new content.
mm-hmm.
Um, the quality of life changes have seemed to be really good. I haven't really sucked my teeth in yet to Armor 2.0, but
Right. Yeah.
I do like the fact now to where I don't have to necessarily like I don't have to worry about
Applying
what my
mods.
yeah, like I have let me find a piece of armor that I think looks good, and the only thing you really have to grind for now is either looks or you got to pay attention to stats on your armor.
Yeah.
So like that's been something like I will keep like an armor piece that I really like, and I might throw like a few mods on it, but I haven't been like leveling it up because I don't want to use all my like
Enhancement cores or whatever they're called.
yeah
Modules.
yeah upgrade modules
Yeah.
until I start to kind of get to a point to where either I do it on Saturday or just so like I'm raid ready. Um,
Yeah,
I feel like
I wasted a bunch of upgrade modules on that raid tryout that we did.
oh really?
Yeah, I
Oh,
wasted
that
like 5.
sucks. That sucks.
I can always buy back more. I have a lot of resources.
Yeah, same. Um, so I mean overall, I thought this DLC was it lived up to my expectations. Like I haven't really been disappointed with it. Now that could change on Saturday if the raid is like really bad. But from the content I think we've seen so far in some of the missions and some of the strikes and like the nightmare hunts, like I feel like the raid has a lot of potential.
hmm
So
There's a couple of things though that I need to talk about. Is like the amount of quests that you can hold is still way too
yes,
limited. I had to
yep,
delete a bunch of quests that I already completed on other characters, so I didn't mind. But some people like don't have that room, right? And
yeah,
so it's such a pain
yep.
in the ass to try and like, okay, do I take this one now or do I leave it here and then pick it up later?
I
And
did
then like
actually
those
tweet to Deej about
essences,
that.
the essences also count as a quest item, and you pick up
Mhm.
like 3 or 4 or 5 of those things at a time, or like each
Yeah,
Halloween, or I was gonna say Halloween haunt, uh, nightmare haunt. Um, so yeah, that's a pain in the ass. Bounties should be. I think it's a good enough room so far, but there really shouldn't be a limit on quests and like bounties. Really,
Yeah, because wasn't that like one of the reasons to why they moved the quest and the bounties to that? Like they took it out of the character page and move it to the directory like
The-
menu because they were supposed to like give us more room to have more quests and more bounties.
I
And
just don't
now
know, man. Yeah.
now it seems like with Shadowkeep, it's back to being with limited space.
Yeah, I don't understand the reasoning for it.
Yeah. So hopefully that's something that they can address soon because yeah, I agree with you. That's really annoying because like you want to pick up all these bounties, but you don't have enough space because
And there's
you
more shit
don't
than
have.
ever now to pick up.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
hopefully it's something that we can kind of see with a update here in the next few weeks that they push out.
And were you expecting like some kind of like Vanguard or Crucible armor up like refresh, like new looking armor for that stuff?
No, I wasn't expecting it, but like, I mean, it would have been nice, but like, I just feel like that would almost be a waste. Like, who runs? I mean, I guess Crucible armor people could run Crucible armor, but like, I feel with
Mm.
Armor 2.0, like having the new look, it doesn't matter what your armor is now. Like, you can make it your own. So I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming you were wanting a new Vanguard and Crucible.
I wasn't really. I'm indifferent about it. Like it would be nice, but I don't really care. I know a lot of people were bitching about that, um, so I figured I'd bring it up. Um, I think there's quite a bit of like new gear anyways on the moon. Like there's a
Yeah, there
couple
is.
more armor sets, lots of different weapons. Um, I think the machine gun from that is pretty good. That was like my first weapon from the moon. It's pretty good. It's an arc machine gun, so you don't have to use Thunderlord if you want arc machine gun.
Yep.
Um, I haven't had a chance to try out any of the other weapons. I did get the sniper rifle, but I haven't had a chance to use it yet. So, looking to see how that works out. Have you tried any of the new stuff?
Not weapons, really. I
No.
haven't. Like, I've been just kind of, other than like the blues that we've gotten, like, I've been just so focused on grinding power to where I really haven't had the time to like sit back and be like, okay, let me test out some of these weapons. So I'll do that either tonight or tomorrow, before I go off to my football game on Friday, and start kind of focusing on like some new weapons that they brought in to see if they're any good.
Okay, cool. Um, let's see. All right, so we're gonna leave a spoiler warning here for further spoilers in the story. So if you don't want to have that spoiled for you, and I suggest don't have it spoiled for you. Like the
I
big
will.
surprises were really surprising. Um, so three, two, one, spoiler section. Our guardian talked.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's really a spoiler because
I
I
know,
mean
but
he
I just
talked
wanted
to.
to get. I just wanted to bring that up. But yeah,
But I mean, yeah, like I do like the fact that we're starting to see our character be more vocal because there was just so many times back in like original like vanilla Destiny 2 where you're just like it was almost like an awkward cutscene because like either another NPC would be talking to you or your ghost would talk to you and you would just stand there just silent. And it was just kind
uh,
of like,
yeah. All of year one
oh,
was that for Destiny 2. Like your guardian didn't talk at all. And then for Forsaken, you had one line because Cade died, and you wanted to avenge
yep,
him. So it's like that's what broke your vow of silence.
yeah, I guess so.
um, I actually skipped through quite a bit of the story because I was just focusing on leveling up to get Ray ready. But I'm gonna go through with my other characters and experience the story that way. But the ending, though, let's get right down to that. So, uh, you have to get your armor pieces in order to go into the pyramid ship, and you get sucked in like a tractor beam, And then you have to run through like these hallways in the darkness ship, fighting off nightmares.
Yeah, which I think the whole like they were smart with the whole nightmare system because if they wanted for some reason to bring back some of the year one or the D1 raids, like now they have this whole nightmare system that's going on that then can tie into bringing back VOG,
Mm-hmm.
Crota, Taken King, and Wrath of the Machine. So I think that was a really good move on Bungie's part that could help them out. So I'm getting a phone call. But yeah, that ending though was like insane.
So we have to fight off some of our previous villains. Number one, Crota. Obviously, he's in the game. It's not a spoiler, but you actually get to the actual area where you fight him from Destiny 1. So that's pretty cool. And you had to kill him using a sword. So
yeah, and that right there, I think that mission or like that scene, like kind of just made me think, okay, I think we will be seeing some of these old raids coming back. Because, like, it was identical to Crota's End. Like...
Yeah. Also, we're, like murdering every one of the Hive, like, family. Like, Crota... they had, what was it, Crota's daughter in this one, I think? Someone's daughter.
It was either his daughter or it was his sister.
Okay. But yeah, we just killed another part of the Osmium Court family. It's cool. The actual ending though, let's get it right into it. I can't remember what happened, but we ended up in a field that looked like the Black Garden. And there was a character off in the distance, and as you get closer, it's your character. And there's like tons of the pyramid ships behind him. And he says like, we are not your friend, we are not your enemy. And I can't remember if he says anything after that.
We are your salvation.
We are your salvation.
I'm pretty sure is what he said.
So that's insane.
Yeah, and I mean, I've brought up a lot of stuff going back to Destiny, but one of the theories, back in year one of Destiny was that the Traveler was bad.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
He is the darkness, and that he's gonna end up being like the final boss that we fight off in Destiny, and that's like how they're gonna end Destiny.
Yeah, I've heard those things.
So my roommate's cat's insane. So yeah, the ending was just kind of like what the fuck? Like,
right.
What's going on here? But it was like, also like, I want to know more.
Right.
Like, and this is something that Destiny has really struggled with for such a long time, until Forsaken. They nailed it with the story, and they nailed it with Shadowkeep. So hopefully this is a sign to come that in the future we're going to continue to get some of this juicy campaign content.
Yeah, it just makes my mind race to like future stuff. Like, what's gonna happen from here? Are we gonna end up fighting just duplicates of ourselves? Like, are we gonna fight an evil Zavala basically, and like evil Ikora, and like have them fight with us? Like, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Are they? It's so weird to say. Are they like the darkness or the light or whatever? Because they have fucking black pyramid ships. Okay, like we have a white circle ball. Like,
yeah.
You can't have the two things be like. That's obviously the light in like all types of literature and like all types of fiction. That would be the light, but I don't know. I feel like that kind of swerve would not really be earned at this point. They would have to really work on that to earn that swerve. But yeah, man, I'm very, very interested to see where they go from here, and I'm excited to just do some of the nightmare haunts. Like, there's some stuff I haven't done yet that I need to get into.
No, there is, and I will also say, kind of the grind so far actually has been fairly fun. Like, it is kind of a challenge. Like, once you hit the 900, like, it definitely, that's when the grind really starts to
Yep.
kind of get that power up. But I haven't, like, gotten frustrated. Like, I've enjoyed playing everything so far. Even Crucible, I've actually had a fairly good time going Crucible, other than when we played comp.
We just get
But,
destroyed.
but
It doesn't help
everything.
that I'm on your team.
Well, yeah, that is true. Um, but like, yeah, so far I've enjoyed everything, man. I think Crucible has definitely. I've seen some nice improvements in Crucible. I still want to kind of get more playing time in there, but I've had more fun in Crucible since Shadowkeep dropped than I have had in like the past year. The Nightfall system is weird. I
Yeah.
That's a little confusing. Still, I would still prefer um back to the original Destiny Nightfall, but I do like that you don't get to pick your modifiers.
Well, for one of
Is
them.
that yeah,
There's two
and
different nightfalls. There's like the big one in the circle and then the one beside it. The one beside it is just there for you to like grind out weapons, I guess. Um,
is that for? See, I was kind of thinking maybe that would be there for non-Shadowkeep players.
you might be right, but I
Who
also
knows?
figured that could just be for grinding out weapons. But you could be right. Um,
No.
but yeah, I like that you don't have to select modifiers and try to like game the system. Like they'll just give you modifiers and be like, "This is like you should be able to be okay with this."
Yes.
Yeah. Um, yeah, good stuff. Let's go play some Destiny. So, Sully, where can people
Yeah.
find you?
You can find me at Mixer and on Instagram and Twitter at Sully__ games.
Cool. And you can find me, your host, Thomas, on Twitter, CSG Thomas. We have Spark of the Vanguard. That's our clan. You can check out the links on the website at chargeshot.com. And we're going to have to start Spark of the Vanguard 2.
Yep, yes we are. We hit 100. Well, I think we have like one or two spots left.
Yeah, but we're going to have to
But
make it 2.
yeah,
Because
sure.
that thing is nearly full. So yeah, until then, guys, eyes down, Guardians.